Hello everyone, just based on the meetings I've had today, I thought I'd give some generic feedback for those of you I was unable to talk to, and just like wider stuff on story gathering and story ideas as well. First off, on this news and story gathering front for your AVJ assessment, you do need a news peg, something that makes this not a feature, and an easy way just in general, as far as like finding a story, is like, look what events are going on. I know that sounds really obvious, but events locally. Now, most of you are going away or going back home for Easter, and there'll be stuff going on in your local area that needs covering that actually logistically is super easy to do. So the example I've given in class is like, if I had a bit more time, I want to do a story. And it's a super basic one. It's nothing to do with sport, which is where I spend most of my journalism. And it's on my local church down the road in Northern, South Manchester, and it needs some new church bells. It's a Grade 2 listed building, and they're starting a campaign to raise funds for church bells. And I would interview the reverend, I'd film the bell ringers, I'd go up to the rafters and the top and film the bells and talk to the reverend there, and he can tell me about it. I'd go to the pub over the road, and it would fulfill all the criteria to pass this assessment for video and radio. I'd do a separate radio piece for one, by the way. I'd separately record my bits for radio and do all the scene set and add a load of colour, and then I'd do an extra bit for filming for TV. But that's an aside. And it's easy to do because it's round the corner from me. And yeah, it's not... maybe you want to be a music journalist and you want to like get to a music festival and talk to the biggest bands in the world, or maybe you want to be a sports journalist and you find a big match that's going on. But okay, yes, you can do all those, and by all means, if you want to, go do that. But for this assessment as well, it's a chat. All these assessments, the whole point of it is for you to build up your skills towards journalism, right? So finding something that doesn't have a logistic rub can actually be really good, and it doesn't have to be in your area of expertise. All journalists started off doing stuff that maybe wasn't necessarily where they wanted to end up, but it's how you learn. So, and that can be an easy win. So think locally, think what's near you. Just talk to a student who wants to travel an hour on the train to do a big match story, when it turns out there's a story about a stricken rugby club round the corner from where they live, and there's a great story there. So just on that front, on story gathering, do think locally. How do you do that? Well, one of the things I was just doing earlier, literally went on Eventbrite, and where we are, and I said events next week, and events give you a peg. Events give you a reason for this, maybe something that feels a bit featurey, to be news, because there's something happening there. If there's a festival going on, and you can get to it, like a book festival, or maybe a music festival can be the thing, yeah. And you can get there, then that's your hook. That's your in. That's your news peg. And then whatever they're talking about can feed into that. There's so many cost of living stuff. There's all that wider issue. And any events kind of can feed into that. Are people going to them? How are they reacting to what's going on? So there's that as well. And with all of this, it is just, think about your criteria, think about your interviewees and how you can make this story look good and sound good. It doesn't have to be the best thing in the world, like story-wise, but you can make it good. My Northern Bell story, I'd make it good. So that's just some general thoughts from me. We've talked about joining Facebook groups and all the rest of it. The other thing, especially if you're going home over Easter and you're thinking of stories, like go for a walk, go to your high street, find the charity shop, find a news agent, whatever it might be, and look in the window and see what's going on, what's listed. Is there an Easter charity run happening? Maybe there's somebody on one of the Facebook pages who's got a great story, really powerful story about something that's happened to them. And they're running an event this week or next weekend or something. So yeah, I would really recommend thinking what's near you, what news is near you, that therefore you can cover easily and well. And finally, on logistics, check the kit store website. It says it's closed on weekends anyway, and it's closed on the Easter period. There is a reduced opening during Easter holidays, but it is open. But so just email them and book stuff and get your equipment if you can. But yeah, there's 5 minutes. Hope this wisdom is of use. Have a good Easter, and I'll see you all soon.